So, good morning from Raleigh, North Carolina, second largest city in North Carolina. Um, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just want to talk about I don't know what I've noticed. Um, so Charlotte, North Carolina is the largest city in North Carolina. Raleigh is its capital, North Carolina's capital. Um, and things have changed immensely. So, for example, downtown Charlotte, and I never ever will say uptown. Um, I know some other people will like that too. That's not going to happen. Downtown Charlotte um, used to be dead after 5 o'clock when I was growing up. Now, just to let you know, let's see, it is 2021, and I'm 46 years old. So that gives you some idea of when I grew up in North Carolina, Charlotte. So that would have been from the 80s, actually, hold on, 70s, if you will, through the 90s. So, so at any rate, it was basically dead. Now it's very much alive past 5 o'clock. I've seen people, I happen to be there around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've seen people out there around this stuff. This is not what you would have seen when I was growing up. Also, there are more buildings downtown. I don't even really recognize the place when I come back. Now, it has grown from a mid-sized city, if you will, to a large city. It's a large city. It's not a mid-sized city. Once you get a city over 500,000 city proper, it ceases to be a mid-sized city. Just because it's not Atlanta, just because it's not New York and Los Angeles, that doesn't make it a mid-sized city. It's a large city. It just happens that these cities are larger. Atlanta's actually smaller, city proper wise. So is Miami. But nevertheless, they have some. So they have large metropolitan areas that are so large that you can't really count it in the mid-sized city range. You have to make an exception for the Atlanta, Miami, and maybe even Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. All right. So at any rate, here's what else I've noticed about Charlotte. Um, this is not to speak of all areas, but Charlotte has, for whatever reason, gotten a little more dangerous. And don't get me wrong, I grew up in a dangerous neighborhood. Columbus Circle. For example, I remember we tried to order pizza. Now we were poor people, so we were a poor family, so we didn't get that luxury too often. And on top of that, we didn't have a phone in the house, so we'd have to walk to a payphone. What I believe was probably about I don't know between a quarter to a half a mile away. Um, but at any rate, but when we tried to order the pizza, we couldn't go nearby because they would tell us no. So we'd have to go to a place like Lestradas. I'm not sure on Monroe Road. I'm not sure if that's still there. But at any rate, because they didn't know the reputation, these folks were robbing some of these pizza men, particularly a street called Prince's Place, which was inside Charlotte. Anyway, so Charlotte was all, it's a city, so obviously it has some dangerous spots. But for whatever reason, it seems to have gotten even meaner, and I'm not sure exactly what this is about. Where, the homicides have gone up, if you will, significantly. People just very concerned about what's going on. Um, and it also reminds me of a story. So I was in Charlotte. I was actually looking for someone that I needed to find, to see if this person was okay. Um, and so I went, if you will, to check on this person. And meanwhile, I walked down to the bus depot. Now, this also didn't exist when I was a child. It's like a full functioning bus depot with snacks, restaurants, and everything. And so I went there, right? You know, looking. Um, well, I had to go to the bathroom. Is what I remember. And so this was a few years ago. And I went to the bathroom. Okay. Well, you're thinking by now that, well, the bathrooms are breaking the story, right? You can be at peace as you go to the restroom. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into any details. But, but at any rate, well, I'm going to one detail. All of a sudden, some guy comes in, he starts sounding husky, almost like MF Doom, without the talent. Um, and he starts, talking about, I'm the baddest person here, such and such. And then he starts talking about, and I'll murder you, and I will Michael Franklin murder you. Now, I'm using Michael Franklin, but I think you know what I'm substituting it for. And the fella just starts getting all, and I mean, he's just in the bathroom, and I just couldn't figure out why does somebody have to be um, this mean spirited, um, this gangster, if you'll forgive my language, um, in the bathroom. Shut up, go to the bathroom, hum a little tune if you need, take care of your business, and get out, right? You don't have to ruin people. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Before I could even start my business, you know, I won't go into any details. but let's just put it this way. I packed up and left. I mean, I just couldn't figure out, why does somebody have to sound, this hard? I mean, why do you need to do this, right? I mean, this is completely unnecessary. And, I've seen notable instances of this where, for whatever reason, the children have just gotten, and I know there is also a gang problem now. I just can't figure out what is going on. Um, with my hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina, where somebody feels a need to be this way. Now, this is not to say there aren't still some very good places, to go in. And I know I walk around in places that I consider to be pretty safe. And I hang out there, hang out at these places. But I just couldn't figure out. I mean, 'cause like I said, you always had some, some knuckleheads, if you forgive the language. And I mean, heck, I've had people who've even tried to. Well, anyway, that may be a story for another day, but try to, convince me to do things that I shouldn't do, and I didn't do them. But for the life of me, I just could not figure out why somebody feels the need to be this mean. You know, where people can't just take care of a simple function like going to the bathroom. Anyway, folks, that's all I have. Hey, take care. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to talk to you again. All right, take care now. Bye bye.